It is a dark night in Arkham, Massachusetts, as this group of intrepid investigators are making their way towards St. Mary's Teaching Hospital. After just investigating the apartment of their mutual friend, Dr. Lawrence Warwick, they found a set of strange notes talking about a mummy and regeneration of cells, but no sign of Dr. Warwick. But there was a note saying St. Mary's Teaching Hospital. And so our story begins with our investigators heading towards this hospital. It's a bit late at night, not many people are around, and the hospital itself is located on the grounds of Miskatonic University, so you'll pass a few students on your way. As you get there, you realize there's a bit of a problem. None of you are medical doctors who would be admitted to the morgue where you expect Dr. Warwick to be. The nurses rebuff you with a simple, I'm very busy, please leave me alone. I have to take care of this. But you got lucky. You found there's a delivery entrance to the side, and in that, the metal door was propped open a little bit, with light streaming out into the darkness outside. But you also noticed the lock was smashed. So our curtain comes up with the four of you standing outside of an open door, propped open with a smashed lock, believing your friend Dr. Warwick to potentially be inside. I'll pass it to all of you.
What ho? Well, it looks like to me that like somebody's already been here before us. What y'all think?
Looks like it was approached by amateurs.
I
was going to say, clearly not someone with your skill, Cassandra.
A little discretion, please.
Sorry.
I'll look around to see if there is anyone looking, really. If this door has been smashed once, likely no one's looking, but I want to make sure before I take a peek in.
Brett says because it is the delivery dock and late night, nobody appears to be around, but the lock, as you kind of peek inside, the inside of the morgue itself is dimly lit. There are lights hanging above. It's the very stereotypical morgue feel of it's not very brightly lit because nobody wants to hang out with dead bodies in the sunshine. But as you peek inside, you hear something there, Cassandra. You hear a blood-curdling scream coming from just straight in front of you from behind a door.
Male or female voice? Can I tell?
Male. It is a male voice.
I think in any other circumstance, I might show a bit of caution, but I'm worried about my friend. He's been there. I think that to me is an invitation. And so without much thought, I push open whatever doors and make my way in.
The door is a bit heavy and it takes a little force to push it open. As you rush in, you locate the source of the scream immediately. It is 20 feet from this door, from behind another door that you can hear just this scream cutting through the night. And then as you rush in, you hear almost a gurgling noise. What are the rest of you doing as Cassandra's just run in after the sound of this scream? You also hear this cutting through the silence. It is unmistakable. Something is happening inside of this morgue that does not sound on the up and up.
100% following after.
Okay.
Burst right on in, heedless of everything, as usual, as one does.
All right.
I'm a doctor. I don't have authorization to work at the hospital, but I am a doctor. I hear someone in distress. I'm following them in.
Okay. Also following, but I'll already have my firearm in my hand.
Fantastic. As the four of you rush in, you find the source of the scream immediately. It is your mutual friend, Dr. Lawrence Warwick, leaning up against an autopsy table, barely propped up, holding at his throat. And you see in his hand, he's almost pulling out a scalpel that has been stabbed into his neck, spurting blood all over the room as bloody footprints and handprints are all over. He struggling to hold this together as he sees you all come in. He slumps down slightly. And for the first roll of the game, which is very rare for this, I'd like a sanity roll, please.
Oh, come on.
Oh. Pass.
I'm enough of a professional to keep it together. 57 out of 60.
Shit.
I got a 50 out of 60.
50. I'm guessing, Richard, that is a fail on your part.
That would be a fail.
I'm taking 1 point of sanity for seeing your friend in this state.
You got it.
As he clutches at his throat, he starts to spasm a little bit. I'll pass it
Anything I
to
can
you.
do to help him?
You can give me a first aid or a medicine roll.
Absolutely.
See what you can do there.
Yeah, no, well,
So what are you doing with this roll? Enlighten me and the viewers at home what you're doing with this roll.
so I am rolling a 93 over 70 for medicine, and this is my friend, so I am spending a big whopping pile of luck to make that
That is
work.
a very, very large luck spend, but a good one at that. Because as you rush in to try to stop the bleeding of this wound, he takes that unmistakable breath that you've heard before as somebody's coming back from the verge of death. That soul crushing inhale. And he coughs and just spatters blood in your face as he does this. And he starts motioning toward his throat that he can't seem to formulate words. But he begins to gesture and gesticulate wildly at you. And you hear him croak out with the weakest voice you've ever heard out of this man. You've known this man for years. You've never seen him in this state. And you hear him just croak out, "They can't escape. Don't let them out." And then immediately goes back to breathing heavily, trying to catch his breath, as those words took so much out of him to even say.
We all hear that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna whip around and just try to get eyes on everything, find whoever these they are.
And I pull out my gun as well.
Naturally.
We're back to back.
Yes.
So you look around, and this is just an autopsy room. Metal tables bolted to the floors, some cabinets along the walls. One thing you do notice, curiously, is that along the floor next to Warwick's leather bag appear footprints walking away. And the thing that stands out is that these footprints are bare feet.
Are these
Warwick is wearing
footprints,
boots.
are these footprints in dust or dirt or blood
Oh,
or
they are very much in blood.
okay.
And these bloody footprints just lead straight out of the room. Per the map that I sent you, they would both be going from the direction you came in and the exit on the opposite end of the room.
Hmm.
And these just bloody footprints everywhere. You're taking inventory because you rushed in to save your friend. You weren't worrying about preserving a crime scene because you're kind of committing a crime, aren't you? But these
The
footprints and
32 is
everything.
definitely out at this point. Once I saw the stuff on the ground, once I calmed down, mind you, as everyone can see, my hand's kind of shaking with the gun just a little bit. I'm a little off, just a little bit, just a little bit.
I think I would look over to Dr. Harrison and say, "Do you have him?"
Certainly hope so. Between the autopsy room itself and his bag, I'm assuming I can find a notebook and something to write with.
Oh, yeah.
That I can give him so that if there's anything else he wants to tell us that he can't physically.
In fact,
Yes,
are you going into his bag to get a notebook?
Sure.
You not only find a small notepad in there, but what you would guess look to be bottles of gasoline.
Hmm.
It's unusual, but
Yeah, you've never known the doctor to carry around fuel in his bag, but he just happens to have screw top. Like, you would guess almost like corked wine bottles or screw top bottles just full of petrol.
Somebody's gonna have a party.
seems that way.
But you managed to find a notebook, and in there you find a single sheet of paper written that says "must be destroyed," and it's underlined.
So
As the doctor laying there weakly reaches toward the paper and taps that page aggressively, leaving his bloody fingerprints on that notebook.
So where we are right now, I'm going
Yes.
to start following. I'm just going to pick a set of tracks. You said there were multiple.
There are multiple. This is, if you had to guess by looking at it, you would guess. Like, you know what? Give me a spot hidden roll. Let's have some fun with this.
All right. That is an 8 out of 65.
Yeah, that'll do it. You see not just footprints, but what look like smears leading out of this room, like something was dragged. But with an 8, I always reward great rolls there. You notice you guessed at least 7 unique prints and smears going in and out of this room.
I think there's 7. I think there's at least 7. I'm going to pick the clearest on the right because I have to pick some choice. So I pick the path on the right. And I look back to my recently reunited cousin and say, I'm going this way.
As I hear that, can I look down and perhaps just smell? This is human. This is his blood.
It's
This is
blood.
regular blood.
It's definitely blood.
Hmm. Can I see if the blood looks strange in any way, discolored or weirdly coagulated?
Touch it between your fingers, and it's weird that for this much blood to be there, you would almost feel like somebody's been exsanguinated.
Hmm.
But this blood is fresh. It feels warm to the touch, as if whatever left this trail, maybe it's a wounded animal or a person, but something is definitely nearby, given that feel of the warm, sticky blood between your fingers.
Okay. Well, I'll look back to Cassandra. If you go, I go with you.
I like that. I like that.
Fine. Keep up. She tries really hard. A moment of softness that is not like her in the last few years of her life just crosses her face. And just as quickly as it has come, it's gone because she's down to business. And she starts moving.
Right behind her.
All right. What about Jack and Dickie? You have Melina and Cassandra going to the right. You have the doctor. You would guess Dr. Harrison, he's stabilized enough that if you were to remove your hand, he wouldn't start bleeding out immediately.
I'll
But he's
be out
definitely
to
not in a
try it out.
state to go anywhere, you don't think.
Yeah.
Doc, what direction do you have any idea at all? Like what direction they might have went in? Any of them? Does he point?
His hand just waves
Everywhere, yeah.
everywhere.
All right. So they went out one exit. Jack, what you think?
Hesitate for a moment. Don't want to leave my patient, but there seem to be bigger threats here. So you're going to be okay by yourself? All right, I'm with you.
He weakly nods as you ask him if he's going to be okay. And he points to the cabinet.
Yeah.
And makes a stabbing motion. And you almost get the feeling he's asking for something out of the cabinet just in case something comes back for him.
Okay. I'll go over there to the cabinet and I'll reach up. Is there knives, scalpels, something up there?
Scalpels and manual bone saws. As this is the 1920s, we didn't have the fancy electric doodads we have today.
So
we got ourselves a hacksaw with a wooden handle.
I'll bring him over a one of those lovely hacksaws with wooden handle and a scalpel, just so he's got a variety,
Got off.
He lays the hacksaw in front of him, puts the scalpel in his hand, kind of weighs it a little bit, grabs the one on the floor next to him, and he looks ready to fight something, but you're not sure what he's fighting.
Okay. Well, witnessing this, I mean, I've got my 32 in one hand. It's a little revolver. I'm gonna pull out my switchblade in the other hand, and now we're ready. And I'm gonna sort of yell toward Cassandra and Melina. You guys yell if anything comes up on your end.
Before we leave, I want to find a little like metal specimen container thing, something that he can bang on the floor if he needs us and can't talk loud enough.
In fact, Jack, as you go to find a pan for him to knock on, you realize this autopsy table that he's leaning against. There's a pan right on there with a couple bloodied instruments. Maybe it's your medical training, but this table looks freshly used. There's bits of bone and what looks to be that very fresh blood again, but there's no corpse on this table.
Trying to keep the eyes on the prize.
You managed to give him that pan, and he tests it out and whacks it on the floor a couple times. You all hear this loud metallic clang, and he just nods.
And I'll grab his bag because he came prepared.
All right, Jack, follow me.
A bag full of gasoline bottles, and
yeah,
you never know when those will come in handy.
We're gonna burn this place down. No. Sorry.
I wouldn't recommend doing that with you inside, though.
Right? So, picking the next obvious exit out of here that the lady Troubadours did not go down, and we will take that route. I assume you're following with me, Jack?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Let's keep the camera on Richard and Jack for a moment here. As the two of you walk out into the hallway, could you give me a listen roll? Okay.
50 over 20.
I heard whatever was there. It was just a normal success, but yeah, I heard.
You hear, is that somebody talking on the phone? You hear, hello, yes, please, send the police. Help, police.
Can I get a direction on this, or is this just inside?
Straight in front of you? You would guess it would be in that room directly in front of you. There's a door just around the corner.
Then I'm gonna go right through there. I'm gonna not quite, but push the door open really hard. Not quite kicking it open, but I'm gonna burst into the room.
Sure.
Behind you. Hey!
You kick that door open, and you see what looks like must be the coroner's office. There's desks, chairs. There's a bloody trail leading to a phone. There's a disembodied severed head talking into the phone. You know, normal things you'd find in an office.
Okay. Sanity roll, yes.
Sanity roll indeed. As this head is, hello, operator, please.
I'm good.
So I'm still going to take 1 point of sand from you.
I no doubt.
Which is, I think, an understandable number there.
Yeah. The moment that I see this disembodied head talking, I mean, I will back up. Jack, you should probably step aside, or I'm gonna run into you, because I'm backpedaling just super speed.
Do you warn me about what's inside, or do I need to make a sanity roll too?
I would. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I probably.
I will put it this way. Either way, you're going to see this head.
Yep. You said 1 point?
Did you pass or fail?
I failed.
Oh, you failed?
I passed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to like this one then. That's 4 points of sand to see it.
Doc, what the fuck? What the hell is this? What the hell is going on here?
Said it me or him, because it could go either way.
They did not prepare me for this in med school at all.
God damn.
As you yelp out, seeing this disembodied head that somehow retains a sentience to talk, you hear a muffled voice on the other end saying, Arkham Police, what do you need? As the head calmly says, you may need to come down to the head in this very calm voice. I'm at St. Mary's Teaching Hospital Morgue in Arkham. Please, we need help.
About what I would have said, so I'm sticking with Dickie.
Yeah, Dickie's running the fuck out of here. There's a fucking talking head sitting right here. No, no, and fuck no.
You might even say something like this comes along once in a lifetime.
No. Ah, all right. I mean, am I calm enough to be able to like stay in here with I mean, like, no, hell no. No, I'm leaving this fucking room. Ain't no fucking way. No, I'm out. I'm out of this room. I'm going outside of this room. What is the exit? What is just
I mean, there's a door directly opposite the one you came in. There's back the way you came.
Which is
up
the
to you where you want to go there.
Which is the closest to me?
Closest to you is going to be to go south into the room you have not been into yet.
Let's go there. I'm going as long as it's out of this particular room. And I mean, I'm like keeping an eye on that shit because not that I've seen the thing, but that's what's going on in my head. I'm not sure about my character's head, but yeah, I just gonna see the little things come out at any moment, and it starts. No shit, no.
All right. So you're running to the room opposite.
Yes.
I'm assuming there, Doc, you're following him.
Oh yeah.
All right. So let's flip the camera for a moment to the Thibodeau cousins, who've gone the opposite way out of the autopsy room.
Mm-hmm.
Could the two of you give me listen rolls, please?
Oh boy.
All right.
No pressure.
Uh-oh. I got an 86.
So it's quiet.
I got an 85.
It is eerily quiet. Maybe it's that scream echoing in your ears that just you don't even hear the sounds of Dickie and Jack freaking out on the other side of the morgue. It is dead silent. But the two of you notice as you walk out that door to the right, the door you came in is closed. You didn't close that door. That door was propped open. And you see a giant red smear running down the door itself.
I'm gonna whip around with my pistol in hand, and just to make sure that Cassie is behind me at all times as I do it. Looks like we have a friend.
She will also, with gun in hand, look around. What the room is not that large, right?
No. None of these rooms are particularly large. You would guess in terms of relative size, it's about the size of a small apartment. Maybe even a one-bedroom house for the entire morgue. It's not a huge morgue.
So with as much confidence as she can in this situation, which is stressful, but she hasn't seen a talking head yet. She's going to say with her full chest, if whoever is in here would like to avoid catching a hell stream of Chicago lightning, I recommend you step forward right now. And she's literally just looking, expecting someone to come out.
Nobody comes out from the doors, but you feel something slowly, like that feeling that something's around you, and you feel a warm rope-like sensation slowly wrapping around your neck. And Melina, you see what looks like a sentient red rope descending from the ceiling, slowly enveloping Cassandra from above.
Sanity roll for me.
Oh, that's definitely a sanity roll because you realize this isn't a rope. This is intestines.
95.
Oh no! Oh no!
That is a fumble.
That is a fumble.
Woof.
So I'm not even gonna roll here because with a fumble on a sanity roll, I'm just gonna take the maximum amount from you. And the maximum amount here is 6. So why don't you make me an intelligence roll there, Melina? See if we're gonna go abouting we will go because
Here's my intelligence. Okay. We have 50.
Literally a coin flip.
Okay. That is a pass. Barely. 38.
That's bad. You do not want to pass
Oh,
this
you
roll.
don't want to.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, forgot about
Oh,
that.
you said that with such happiness. Like, oh, I passed. It's gonna be great. Melina, you are suddenly fraught with memories of the Great War.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that your entire platoon was getting shelled with mortars. And you did the one thing you told yourself you would never do. You ran. You fled. They said they needed a runner to go back to HQ, and you said, fuck this, I'm out. So as this giant pile of viscera begins to slowly ensnare Cassandra, you sprint like a bat out of hell. Now, Cassandra, I'm going to have you make me a dex or strength roll, dealer's choice there,
Oh boy.
as this viscera is slowly beginning to cocoon around you.
I am going to go Dex. I have been
Okay.
in some pretty nasty scuffles in my life of crime. And so I'm going to try and weasel my way out of
Okay.
whatever has me from behind.
Well, not just from behind, it's above.
Okay, so so I got a 45 out of 80.
So that's a regular success. Yeah, you
Right.
feel this starting to slowly wrap around your throat, but you get your fingers on it and just kind of yank at it. And as you do, what looks to be an entire pile of viscera plops down on the floor in front of you with this sickening squelch.
If I can backpedal out the way that we just came in. I know that the door, I think the door is still open, maybe from my cousin.
Back to the autopsy room.
Just back out this space.
Yep. Okay.
And I probably, is it writhing? Is it moving? Or does
Oh,
it
it is.
spell?
It is not just writhing and moving. It is moving with a sentience.
It's gonna get some lead.
All right, give me a firearms roll.
All right. Okay, so let me, oh, come on. Okay,
Because you have the higher dex relative to
oh,
this creature.
yes. So I got a normal success. Whew, it
Okay,
was
so
close. It was real close though.
roll me some damage.
Okay, so mm, one.
Yeah, you shoot this thing and it splatters a little spray of blood, but it keeps coming at you. What it's gonna do is it's squelching its way towards you, and one of the pieces of viscera just goes to smack you.
I beg your pardon. Uh, may I dodge?
You don't need to dodge because it missed.
Okay.
It missed very badly. But this creature, this I hesitate to call it a creature because it's a liver, it's intestines, it's blood vessels just slapping at you.
It is not. I'm backing out.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
you make your way backwards into the autopsy room, and the doctor, still holding his throat, he points and then makes a stabbing motion with his scalpel in his hand.
Um, I think the words that I say are just like guts, guts. It's guts.
And he starts nodding. In fact, I'm not even going to make you make a psychology roll for this. As he nods, he doesn't seem phased by that at all. And your mind goes back to the note that you found in his apartment about a body that's been found to regenerate, a mummy rebuilding its own cellular structure. And you realize those guts are dangerous. And let's flip the camera back over to Richard and Jack as the two of you go running across the hallway. You hear the unmistakable sound of Melina sprinting towards you, shouting about mortar fire. As you open a door opposite and see a furnace, the autopsy furnace. This is where bodies are put to be disposed of. It's dark in there. The furnace does not appear lit.
Coming from in here, from a sound, scent, or tasting the air kind of standpoint. Sorry.
You hear Melina coming at you, but you're in this room in just a dark furnace opposite you.
So
a body-sized incinerator.
At first, I'm just going to yell, "Applesauce! This is bullshit. This is just applesauce. I ain't taking this no more. I'm coming out." I'm gonna see what Melina's running about. Like obviously, like she's got a gate that we can hear because we know it's her.
No. I was like, Steve knows this die that I'm about to roll for this. Oh. Normally it'd be a luck roll, but I like to use what I call the happy sad die. Yeah, Melina trucks into you. As she is shouting about mortar fire and we need support.
Whoa! Calm down. You're at home. You're here. You're not elsewhere. You're here. Yeah. It's all good.
I think as soon as I touch another person, I'm still in this vision of wherever I'm at, and so I'm not going to recognize you right away. Okay. And my gun is on you.
Okay.
Okay. Question.
I mean, I was going to say you could be out of the bout, but if you want to be in that bout, be in that bout.
Nope.
All about that bout.
Go ahead.
All about that bout.
Go ahead, Steve.
So I do have a background in psychoanalysis. I'm guessing we may have talked through some of the post-war trauma. Do I know a way to get through to Melina when she's...
In the interest of time, we can say that happens.
Okay. Yeah.
You've talked her down. She's clearly... Something freaked her out. As you hear Dickie shouting about, this is applesauce at a furnace for some reason. But the three of you together, clearly you've seen some weird things today.
Melina. So what's going on? what the hell? What the hell's happening here? Help me.
She's just sort of like shaking her gun and trying to calm down.
First things first, I'm gonna try to very slowly reach in your direction and have you lower the gun. There we go.
Yeah. As she's coming down, she'll take some deep breaths. There was something red. It was doing something to Cassie.
Where's Cassie at now?
She's gonna immediately turn around and start running back.
Cassie's not behind you. Cassie's on the other side of the morgue.
Oh no.
I'm gonna glance at Doc real quick here and be like, Doc, is she okay?
Are any of us right now?
You have a point. I say we follow her. Maybe, yeah.
We got to keep it together and we got to stay together. Whatever's going on here,
keeping it together. God, you're such an optimist, Doc. Come on, let's go.
I'm gonna push open back to the room that we were in to see if I find her.
The room you were in, where the autopsy room or the
oh yeah, we have to go through the autopsy room, don't we?
You do have to go through the autopsy room.
Yeah, then I'm gonna run through the autopsy room, try to get back to the room that we went through.
Okay. And you walk through the autopsy room and you see Cassandra there, clearly freaked out with a large red stain around her neck. Clearly something scared the hell out of her.
You all right, Miss Cassie?
Guts. It's guts.
It's guts. The hell?
they were moving. They wrapped them.
A loud thud from the room to the south interrupts you. You hear a thud squelch. Thud squelch. Thud squelch. And it sounds like it's getting closer to the door to the south into the autopsy room.
Well, we've had a head, we've got some guts, we've got a lot of this thing left.
You have a what?
We'll talk about it later.
So, Melina, there's something's up. There's not, somebody is all over the place, and I mean all over the place. All over the place.
That's good. That's beautiful. And the doctor sitting there, you hear him croak out one word. I mean, clearly, Dr. Harrison patched him up pretty well, but he says, "Fire! Kill it!"
Yeah, I pull out one of those bottles. And I'm assuming there's something I'll be able to light it with.
Yo, yeah. Doc, wait, Melina. No, Melina. We had a smoke earlier, didn't we? You got a lighter.
You do have a lighter.
You got a lighter. Light that thing.
Lighters.
Yeah.
As you hear that thud squelch, and it hits the door. The door slowly creaks open. And you find the source of the thud squelching. So have your sanity rolls ready, because rolling towards you is a torso.
See what I was saying about it? I'm all over the place. Shit. Come on. Somehow I'm fine. I'm like, this is God damn.
So this is my first sanity roll. I succeeded, but I know that the previous successes have still taken some sanity loss. Is that still
for this time, because you've already started to see roaming body parts? On a success, I will not take any sanity from you.
Bully for me. So this is a whole different thing. This isn't the guts. This isn't the head. This is just a torso.
And this torso is moving how?
It rolling. Somehow sits itself up on its pelvis and then just thud. And then rolls onto the neck and thud.
Oh, for fuck's
If it wasn't a horrifying visage of just body parts rolling towards you, it'd almost be comical.
Again, now that I have a torso, that means there might be a heart. So I'm going to try and shoot at that. I haven't quite, but it's got something I'm familiar with and I can shoot at.
It does appear to be rolling towards you with dangerous intent, Cassandra.
Do not care for that.
I didn't think you would.
All right. So that is a 9.
Is that an extreme?
It is not. Unfortunately, my extreme is 8.
Would you like to spend 1 point of luck to make it an extreme?
Yes, I would.
Because the fun thing about a firearm and an extreme success is that is an impaling weapon.
Oh, nice.
So that will do maximum damage plus any additional rolled damage.
Okay. All right. So then maximum damage would be 3, right?
With the firearm? No, it'd be more than that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my brawl. So that would be...
You could punch it in the chest if you want, but I think you might want to shoot it.
No, thank you. That's why I have a pew-pew.
Pew-pew. I like that.
Okay, so that is... my max damage is it's 1d10.
Okay, so it's 10 plus a d10 roll.
And that is a 9.
So 19 points of damage.
I suspect my high is going to be right now, and everything from here on out might be.
Rocket.
You blast a hole in this torso.
Goddamn, shoot that thing!
And as it flips up at you, you just shoot it back, and it falls flat on its back and stops moving.
Good shooting there, Miss Cassie.
Who wants to touch it? I look at the doctor.
No one touches until after you've at least shot it 2 more times.
gonna take 2 shots right at the thing, point blank, close as I can with that there sucker. Yeah.
I would say just roll to make sure it's not a malfunction there.
You got it.
As long as it's not a malfunction, you're just putting holes in this thing.
I got a 7, bitches. Yeah. And my second shot, which would be lower than that, I still got a 28. Still a freaking.
You've blasted this thing to Bridgett. There are multiple bullet holes in this, and as you shoot it, something curious happens. It bleeds.
Like blood, like pumping blood?
Like pumping blood.
Oh, sure shit, fuck. Folks, there's some shit here that ain't right. No, tain't right at all.
It's at that moment the lights begin to flicker.
For fuck's sake. Really?
As if the power is being tampered with.
Dr. Harrison, you said there was a head?
They're not going to believe me, but it was on the phone calling the police.
It could talk.
Oh, yes.
Maybe we go and talk to it?
Wow, that hadn't occurred to me, but yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what though, I've seen quite a bit today. Maybe one of y'all be better talking at this thing than I would be right now.
As the 4 of you are talking to the disembodied head, you hear a noise. Thud squelch. As the torso sits up.
No.
I'm going to smash the bottle over it and look to Melina for a lighter or matches or whatever.
I will light my Zippo. I don't know if it's too early. I'll give you a match and I'll set it on fire.
So I know you just spent all that luck at the start of this session there, Steve, but would you mind giving me a luck roll just to make sure that you are not incidentally going to cause an inferno? I know that look in his face. That look is, I wish I hadn't spent 20 points of luck.
Well, okay. So that's a 92 over now 62. I will say, though, when I was rolling my luck, which is 3d6 times 5, 6 out of 5. So I've got luck to spare. I am spending 30 luck, which takes me now down
30
to
luck
32.
on a luck roll?
Oh,
you can't spend luck on a luck roll, Steve.
Can't do that. No, I can't.
You do manage to light this gasoline bottle that you've thrown onto this torso. And it's a strange situation. It seems to be releasing green and blue and purplish flames. But with that failed luck roll, as the torso falls back, burning out the accelerant you've just doused it in, you hear the muffled screams of Dr. Warwick.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Who has also been doused in that gasoline and is now being burned alive.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, again, I'm going on instinct. I'm running to him. I'm going to tackle him to the ground. I'm going to body him.
You body him, but maybe it's your life of crime, Cassandra, but you know the feeling of a dead body as soon as you hit one. We'll take a sand roll from all of you because you've just cooked your friend.
Oh, yeah. That's the time to do that roll. Mm-hmm. Bring it all of it.
Roger.
Give me sand, hardcore doc keeper.
What can I say? I enjoy letting people make their own mistakes.
Yeah.
I rolled a 54 out of 60, but that just means I'm still sane and real sad.
54 to 60 being a pass. I'm going to take 1 point of sand from you.
Yep.
Which I think
I was going to ask whether I should roll with a penalty die because I actually did it, but I don't need to because that's a 68 over 56.
So that's an 80 over 40.
The dice.
So those of you that how did you do there, Gene?
I blew the sanity roll, but I did not make the intelligence roll afterwards. So
Well, thankfully, you're only losing 3 points if you fail.
Okay, that is a nice even 5-point loss right now.
And that is 3 for Tanya.
Okay.
Now, Tanya,
I did fail my intelligence. So
oh no, by my numbers here, that should be 9 total points of sand from you.
Mm-hmm.
Or her.
And by my calculations, if your starting sand is 40, you've crossed your magic number into indefinite.
Perfect.
Why don't you let's see. I think would be an interesting bout for you to engage in is that seeing Cassandra tackle your charred body of a friend. A red mist begins to descend over your eyes, and you feel compelled to engage in violence. You think to yourself back in the war, you ran away back then. You're not running away now. You're going to stand and fight.
I am going to cock my pistol and just go, all right, that's it. Next thing that moves dies. And I will point it at anything that moves. No one move.
Well, none of your friends seem to move as you've held them at gunpoint. But from the door to the left, it creaks open as if you don't see anything right away. Then you hear the sound as a disembodied head rolls in.
Shooting it immediately.
Before he gets out, he goes, "We'll be free at dawn." But give me that firearms roll.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And while they're rolling, does the fire look like it has slowed it down?
No.
Has the torso?
The torso has not gotten back up.
Okay, so fire looks like it has done something for a minute at least.
Fire does look like it has done something.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm so mad people are going to be listening to this and not hear that
so
comment, Bridgett. That
right.
was too good.
I did fail
those
my...
who are watching the home game real quick, Bridgett just shouted out, "Fire did do something. It killed Warwick."
I did fail my firearms, but I'm going to go ahead and spend 8 luck since I only got a 68. And I would have passed.
Give me that damage roll as you shoot the head rolling in with a taunting cackle.
That's only a D4.
For a firearm?
Wait.
Firearms usually D6, D8, D10.
Let's see. I see I have a brawl.
Let's just say it's a D6 for the sake of keeping things moving. We'll bump you up to a D6.
If you have a 38 automatic, which is what I have, it's a D10.
No, I have a 22.
Oh, okay.
22 is a D6, I think.
I have 1.
You pop this thing right between its eyes, and it lets out this cackle and goes to roll out the back door that it just came in.
I will run at it and continue to fire until my clip is empty.
Do I got a bead on this? Can I shoot around or can I shoot around her? Can I shoot toward it without hitting her, without risking hitting her?
Yeah, I'd say you could do that.
And then we're doing that. Okay.
Is the torso fire still going?
The torso fire has gone out.
Ooh.
Okay, so I got a hard success on my my 32.
Roll some damage.
Damage is 8.
Damage is 8.
Yes.
That head stopped rolling as soon as that bullet. You pushed it forward with the force of your bullet, and it just stopped moving.
Okay.
Does it have hair?
Oh yeah, it is hair.
Cool.
Something wrong with the head without hair?
No. Well, yeah, it's hard to grab.
Just
So
Gene choosing violence in this stream.
I'm gonna try and make my way as quickly around my cousin and say, Mel, it's okay. Step back, Mel. It's okay. And I'm going to literally put my hand in its hair.
Okay. So you're going
through
the door?
Respond to that?
That's up to you.
Would it help for me to roll psychology?
Yeah, do that. Do that. Let's do that. 10-minute warning. Okay.
We have been apart for a while, but we still grew up together. So my psychology is 45. I rolled a 38.
You managed to calm her down.
I say, I got this. I'm grabbing the head. We need more fire, Dr. Harrison. Do you got more fire?
As you walk out the door to grab the head, could you give me...
Oh, no.
Actually, you know what? As written, it's a maneuver against you. And that's a success. You walk out to grab the head, and you fall flat on your face as something has grabbed your ankle.
Oh,
and
snap.
as it does, you feel a sharp pain. Ooh, that's a 0-4. That's gonna sting. You feel a screwdriver stab into your right leg for a whopping 3 points of damage.
Ooh, all right. So she will definitely scream. Like just a cry of just like frustration and pain. And will look to see if she can see what just stabbed her.
Oh, you can see it.
Is it
It's an arm.
arms? Yeah.
One arm has you by the ankle, the other has just jammed a screwdriver into your leg.
Do I have a free hand?
You have one hand on your gun, one hand on the head.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I've got the head in my hand. I'm
You do?
lobbing it back inside.
Okay. And as you do, you hear
Yeah, so I can't run, but there's arms out here. That is the weirdest thing I've ever said.
and the rest of you hear this comment about the arms being out there, and then the head comes in. The head that you just saw get blasted to pieces, and the eyes pop open as it begins to cackle as it flies through the air again.
Can I catch it?
You know what? I'm not even going to make you roll. You catch the head, and it looks up at you, and immediately you go to grab this head, and it tries to bite you. It tries to sink its chompers into you. And that is a fail.
Okay.
But this head is cackling at you as you notice one of the bullet wounds in the forehead slowly closing.
Is it flesh?
Oh, it is flesh. In fact, as you feel it, the flesh feels somehow weirdly dead but alive.
So I know it
Like
was
you
just
feel
calmed
pieces
down.
of decomposition, but also warmth.
I know it was calmed down a bit, but I'm still insane. So I think I'm gonna wheel myself back from almost being bit, but reflexively, I'm gonna try to bite it back.
Give me a fighting brawl roll with a bonus die. Because it tried to bite you, so you're just gonna try to bite it back.
Melina, we
Oh,
don't
brawl? Perfect.
we don't put mummies in our mouths. No, honey.
We don't put mummies in our mouth.
No.
What's the bonus die?
You roll your d10 again and take the lower of the two for your tens die.
With 7.
Roll me some damage for your choppers.
Uh,
Let's say a d30 for your teeth.
D30.
A d3, d3.
D3.
Jeez, what kind of teeth you got?
D30.
Hard bite.
I got a 1.
Yeah, you bite it and it just goes limp in your hands again. But your mouth is filled with this. Yeah. Yeah. this nasty flavor of flesh.
I'll spit it out.
Yeah, you spit it out.
And see if that did any permanent damage to it.
I mean, as you're looking at it, there's definitely a chunk of head missing.
I guess
You
I'll
took a
keep.
bite. I'm not
Guess
even
I'll
gonna.
keep biting.
You can keep biting this. I'm not even gonna make you roll for the subsequent bites, but you're chomping into this thing like it's corn on the cob on the 4th of July.
Perfect.
And then you hear the door swing open as a police officer stands in the doorway. Says, Arkham Police, we got a call that somebody was in distress here. He looks at you, biting into a head like it's corn on the cob, and he shouts, "We're gonna need backup in here. We got some real weirdos burning bodies." And as you hear the door of more police officers beginning to arrive, piling in, Cassandra, you hear a very familiar sound from above as a red rope of intestines slowly strangles the life out of that police officer.
Oh.
And
Fire!
with that, we're gonna fade to black. As at that moment, as the police officer tries to scream, his last words frozen in his throat, and as the door opens, you hear more body parts slowly entering into the room, and before your eyes, they slowly begin to form together into a fully realized human who cracks his neck, looks at the deceased Dr. Warwick, and says, "As if you thought death could stop me." As our curtain falls for the night.